Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to get the Patronizing, the Good Kind trophy in Life is Strange double exposure. Now there's a lot of mixed reports of how to get this trophy. Hopefully in the future this video will be obsolete and there will be an exact method of getting this, but for the most part this one is extremely fickle and it's one of the more torturous trophies in this game. So first off, you can use Explorer to get this trophy. That's what I did, so you don't have to worry about that, and it doesn't matter if you use different save files. I did this on multiple save files and this is what I did. So first off, on chapter 1, the final sub-chapter, I went to the fab building. I interacted with every piece of interactable art that has any type of dialogue. So I just didn't want to, make some sort of error or mistake. So I just interacted with every single piece of art I could in the first chapter of the final sub-chapter. Again, I'm going to go through the entire process. I won't be commentating on the entire thing, but I want to show every bit of detail so you don't have to go through the same level of torture I did. And hopefully, and I really mean this, I hope this helps you, because this trophy was a nightmare and I still have that damn get all the pictures achievement. I know I sound very annoyed. It's because I am, and a lot of people are voicing their frustration on the forums about this trophy. So this is me just going through the entire area of the fab, interacting with every piece of art I could.
iCat attacks. Took the... What's that? Is that a penguin head in the spokes? It's a shame. I was so looking forward to being terrorized by Saint Nick's shriveled mutant sidekick. I can't be laid to see as mean if I never gave her a time. I'll bet they've got quite an eye for photography. 3 of them, even.
Alright, in the same chapter, so I'm going to make it very exact and it's easy to follow. The next item I got was the Orgami Piece. You are supposed to get this for the Clutter Bug achievement, but you can get this as well for this achievement, at least I assume so. Again, just putting out everything that I got in order to get this achievement that may hint that it may belong to another person's project. Again, this description is so mind-numbingly annoying. Hopefully, you guys don't have to go through the nightmare that I did, but this is what I got.
But back. Where is this going? I see.
Alright, once we got the origami thing, you're going to head back into the fab building where the tree is located with the little monument. You're going to stand there and listen to these 2 students talking. Apparently, according to the forums on PSN trophies, this is necessary. I didn't want to chance it. And when you're listening to conversations, all you have to do is stand by them and just wait for them to exhaust their dialogue. Now, the way this game operates when it comes to dialogue is a little fickle. It just keeps going forward even if Max is not in the vicinity. So if it is a paramount dialogue that Max does have some sort of notice to it, you're going to just have to wait it out. There's no way for you to just come back to it. The NPCs will keep talking. So I highly recommend, once they start talking, to just stand there and just wait for it to all exhaust. They'll stop talking once they finish all their conversation dialogue.
Talons?
Come on, I never said that.
Like Mothman? You and your cryptids.
Well, I'm not hearing any better explanations.
If a cryptid killed her, would it even be considered a murder? Doesn't murder require premeditation?
Cryptids can premeditate.
Statistically, people are murdered by someone they know. Like a boyfriend or a sibling or something like that.
Oh my god, dude, do not.
Do you think this chick was dating Bigfoot?
You're being so disrespectful.
You're the one spitballing that she might have been strangled to death by the Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil doesn't strangle people.
No, you're right. He's from Jersey. He'd use a gun.
Do you think they'd tell me if I made an inquiry?
Why would they? You're not her friend or her family member. You're just a silly little boy who loves the Loch Ness Monster.
Jerk.
Would you like me better if I was part moth? Like if I had a moth for a head?
It might be an improvement, yeah.
Alright, the next piece that you're going to need, at least I think you do. Again, a lot of people don't even know what is necessary for this trophy. You want to go to Loretta's unmanned computer and just interact with it. So just interact with it. There we go. We got that piece if it's even necessary. But you do need this for another trophy. So if you already got this, it should be good, but showing the entire process. Okay, after that, we're going to head to the admin building, and right by the stairway leading to Vin, there are going to be 2 more students talking. Not sure if this is necessary, but according to the PSN forums and the Achievement Hunter forums, this is necessary, so take that for what it is. Again, I'm just showing the entire process. I'm going to keep saying that because this trophy, it was not fun.
Winter.
I guess Abraxas has some extra cash to throw around, with Krampus canceled.
Obviously I get why, but I'm still bummed we're not doing Krampus on campus this year. It sounded like fun.
You're only a freshman. I promise there will be more Krampi in your future. Assuming you stay on Vin's good side.
Vin loves me. Vin loves me, right?
Alright, later on in the chapter, I'm doing this on Explorer mode, just want to make that very relevant. You're going to be encountering Loretta, who's going to threaten to blackmail you unless you give her an interview. Go to Gwen and say you were eavesdropping. What you want to do is call her bluff. You'll go to Gwen, and then after which you want to go on to the left side. You're going to see a poster for her podcast. What you want to do is tear that down. After which you want to grab the rose that's on the table. This is also for the Clue Me In trophy, but just grab it just in case. And they apparently did fix this issue with the rose, but if you don't see it there, just reload the chapter, go to my guide, which is the Clue Me In guide, and that should grant you access to the rose. All you have to do is grab the item once. You don't need to like go further into the chapter. I tested this with the Polaroids. As long as you get the item, it counts.
Fantastic. Stories? More like rumors and gossip.
You think he has us doing this out of the kindness of his heart?
Alright, we're in Chapter 2, Subchapter 2. We're going to start right here. We're going to go into Explorer mode. And right from the start of the chapter, you're going to head across the little bridge. And you're going to find 2 students who are going to find tracks in the snow. Just wait for them to exhaust their dialogue. And then you're good. And then on the right side, just a little further down, is a statue. You want to interact with that. Then you're going to head close to the admin building. You're going to find a dead squirrel. You want to interact with that. Again, not sure if this is necessary, but take every avenue you can, because the last thing you want to do is deal with the nightmare that I did. I know I keep repeating that, but I'm telling you, it was a freaking nightmare.
It's freezing. I can't believe you dragged me outside for this.
First of all, they're way too big to be normal. And secondly, look at those toes. They're all sorts of fucked.
That's because they aren't toes, genius. They're claws. These are classic bird tracks. Can we go now? I want to get back home before this edible kicks in.
I know these look like bird tracks, but there's more. Check it. Webbing. Hell, the size of these things.
I know where you're going, so just don't. I'm not gonna risk losing my extremities for this shit. For a wild dinosaur chase?
The Vermont Offal is not necessarily a dinosaur. Personally, I prefer the Griffin version of the story. Head and wings of an eagle, tail and body of a lion.
I'm only interested in real sightings, not this fantastic creature shit.
There are reports of the Offal dating back to the early 20th century.
Oh, you mean back when some knob looking for attention could make up a story about an ancient Greek beast? Lost in the woods of upstate Vermont?
Damn, harsh. What happened to, I'm open to anything?
I don't know. Maybe it was the Caledon leprechaun last fall, or the green state grubs we chased over spring break. It's not as much fun as it used to be.
What are you trying to say? We don't have to look into everything. From now on, we can be a more discerning organization.
I'm listening.
Like you said, only legitimate cases, scientifically based, like the possibility of extinct species or fossil-supported paleontology.
So, paleontology, as in dinosaurs?
Well, not exactly.
You're still talking about the Vermont offal, aren't you?
If it's not a griffin, it's a pterodactyl. No joke. Those tracks are not mammalian. And the webbing.
I think we need some time apart.
Art student prank or horrifying creature, the world may never know. Nothing like a fun mystery to get you out of bed, huh, guys? So, how do you keep things fresh after literal decades of passionate embracing? I need to ask around about Safi's car. Brutal. Looks like something's on the prowl. Maybe it was that owl?
Alright, now that we've entered the admin building, we're going to see this person on the left side. I believe her name is Kim. You just want to interact with her. It is Kim. There we go. Next up, you want to head right there to the transport hub. I'll call it that, between the living and the dead world. You're going to come to this little memorial or service kiosk. I don't know. You're just going to come to this, interact with it, grab the therapy card. You're going to transfer it to the world of the dead. And then you're going to come here and you see those two students. You're just going to wait here and let them exhaust their dialogue. Life is Strange Double Exposure does this very odd thing where characters will just pause between interactions, so there will be like 2, 3, or even 5-second pauses between these conversations. So you want to wait until they exhaust all their conversation dialogue, and then on the table there's going to be a little prompt for you to put the therapy card. I know this seems very obtuse, but I didn't take any chances with this trophy. People said you need to do this, so I recommend you do it as well.
Safi, I mean. I never even talked to her. But what happened to her, it was fucked up.
The death of a beautiful woman is unquestionably the most poetical topic in the world.
Look, I know you had to do that shitty piece of performance art based on the Mask of the Red Death, but can you please not quote poet me? I'm serious.
You thought it was shitty?
Ever since we heard the news, everything I try to do takes 5 times the energy. I can barely get out of bed.
Dude, have you thought about going to the counseling center?
Do not start with that. All the counselors do is give you handouts on deep breathing. I fucking know how to breathe.
Everyone always wants to know what the Abraxas goons are doing. They never want to know how the Abraxas goons are doing.
We're not goons.
It's okay. Goons have feelings too. Hey, maybe you could find a therapist off campus or something.
Nah, suffering is part of the artist's lot in life, kid.
Whatever, Hemingway.
Don't bring Hemingway into this.
Hey, didn't I see a therapist's business card just a few minutes ago? Except it was on the other side. Hope
All
things
right,
get
with
better,
that
Dad.
done, we're going to first interact with these two students. Once we get to the fab sector, we're going to come here and you're going to go left and you're going to find two students talking about law school and other gossip. Just wait for the dialogue to exhaust. After which, you're going to go and find Lucas, and you're not going to interact with him. You're just going to eavesdrop on his conversation with Robbie. Again, not sure if this is necessary, but don't take any chances.
By the way, did you get your ticket to the Burlington Book Expo yet?
No. When is it again?
Shiloh, it's soon. Shit, it's probably too late since Lucas Colmenaro's giving a talk.
I'll live, Alexa, I promise. I can always go next time.
Lucas won't be there next time, and you'll probably be knee-deep in law school thoughts.
Probably. But picture this. What if Alexa Weiss gave a talk?
It's the Book Expo. You have to have a book to, expo.
And you will. I know you have a book in you.
Wait, holy shit. Do you think the Lucas Colmenero would ever champion one of my stories?
Alexa, I think you're so good you don't need him to.
Damn. I might even get my own standee. Hell, we could both get standees.
Hold up. We?
Don't be coy, Shiloh. The Mausoleum Fire deserves just as much love. There's room for both of us under Lucas's wings.
Sure. I'll have lots of free time in law school for that.
Exactly. You and me, we're gonna be Caledon legends.
Going to the Nationals. Your grandfather would have been proud, Robbie. Of course I'm coming. What? No, don't worry about that. Listen to me and don't worry about it. You'll be great. Remember what I told you about being a man? Exactly. Believe in yourself no matter the circumstance. That's the secret. The Nationals. I'm so proud of you, Robbie.
All right, with those two situations closed, what you want to do now, and this is definitely something you need, is to go to Loretta's Tablet that's right there on that memorial in the living world. So you can transfer over to the living world, and you're going to wait as the entire tablet's dialogue is exhausted. Don't click it again when it says listen, because once you click it, it'll try and tell you to click it again. You just have to wait for it to exhaust entirely, and unlike the other conversations, Max will make a retort once the entire dialogue tree has exhausted. And this is something I should have mentioned. When there is no other dialogue being spoken by any of the surrounding characters, Max will remind the player of her current objectives. She'll talk about the skull or talking to Gwen or Lucas in this particular chapter. So that's a good way of indicating whether there's any more dialogue still remaining. But in this case, I've been showing you the entire dialogue tree. So if you just go to the end of each of those trees, you'll see when it just finishes. It doesn't loop around.
For justice. And I became dead set on finding the perpetrator. I took it straight to Joe, one of my regulars, who's studying microbiology at Caledon. I will now do a dramatic reading of our conversation. Loretta, can you beat Joe? Here.
Okay. Amanda, please don't bring me poop. We don't do that kind of testing here.
Do you know any other science places I could take this to?
There is no science place that is just going to test a fecal sample for DNA. Not because it's completely in-fucking sane, though it is, but because a DNA test needs two samples, one of the source and one of the test. You only have the test. So, even if you found a lab that would test a fecal sample, they could only find out if your perpetrator was eating enough fiber for daily regularity. You'd have to bring another DNA sample of everyone who's ever been to your bar.
What about A pube.
If you bring me poo, or pubes, or anything else, I'll have you banned from campus. This is out of hand. Some frat guy shit in the sink. Let it go.
He storms back into the science place.
You mean lab?
I said what I meant. I turn real dramatic-like with only one thought. How am I gonna steal everybody's pubes?
The biggest untold true crime story of the century.
Alright, with that finished, you want to go to the phone booth. That's an art exhibit that's right there, and you want to talk to both sides. The one that refers to the past and the one that refers to the future. Don't just talk to one side. And once you do that, you want to head back into the library, and there are going to be a bunch of statues with mustaches on them. What you want to do with that is remove all 3 mustaches. I'll show you the entire process.
Okay, what do I want to say to the future? Some things are going to be out of your control, and that's okay. That's life. Let it surprise you.
What he's doing is wrong. It always felt like it was, but now I know it's true. I was starting to think my writing just wasn't good enough. How fucked is that? But she stood up for me. Nobody else has ever done that. Ever. So you know what? Fuck that guy. I won't stop writing because he's uncomfortable. That's my message to the future.
Wow. Whatever he was talking about, I hope it worked out. Back to normal. And not even a thank you? Rude. Dignity restored.
Alright, this is where I got the trophy prematurely because I didn't even know you had to interact with this thing. I got this by accident. So this is when you're supposed to go up to where Safi was killed. And when you're in the world of the living, you remember that little leaf bridge that was leading up to the path? It's now collapsed. And what you have to do is interact with it. Apparently, it is an art piece. And I didn't know this. I just thought this was just a fixture. But this is an art piece. And you have to interact with it. And this is when I got the trophy prematurely. So this is probably the number one thing that people are missing right now. So there you go. That's the trophy. But there are other things that I recommend that you collect if you still haven't gotten it. So we're about to cut off because this is me just being so annoyed that I got it. So this is later on in the chapter with Moses in the world of the dead. What you want to do is interact with the Gemini portrait, and you're going to go up by the Stargazer. That's where you're going to get a good position in order to take a picture. Here it is right there. You can see a little circle right there. Just take the picture. I don't know if this counts or not, but I wouldn't risk it. And that's going to be it. Now, these are the things I did in order to get the trophy. The other comments I've heard is that you had to change the grade for Loretta in Gwen's office in Chapter 2. And in Chapter 3 in Safi's office, when you make a left from when you go to the Fab building, and you can see an open office right by Lucas. It's on the right side of Lucas's office. You should know where that is. and that's where Safi's office is. Inside you're going to see a computer, and if it's I think it's the world of the dead where the computer is closed. If it's closed, go to the world of the living, same office, interact with the stuff on the computer, and you'll get the password to unlock it. But as far as I can tell, you don't need that because I got the trophy before this, so that's the only other thing I can think of. So I really, really do hope that this guide helped you because this was such a nightmare to collect. So good luck, and I hope the best for all of you.